We got an unboxing today. I haven't done one of these in a while. Here we have the Surface Laptop Go that was just launched recently. It's kind of a competitor to the MacBook Air and also like iPads. It's priced very interestingly. The baseline one is like $549 and has an i5 and 64 gigs of memory and 4 gigs of RAM. I decided to not touch on that one because I think that the mid-tier model, this is the 128 gig with 8 gigs of RAM and the i5, is a better value. So we're going to be unboxing this and I'll be giving my first impressions and possibly alluding to other Surface products like the Go and the Laptop 3 and the Book. So let's just see what happens before we continue here. Of course, I'd appreciate it if you want to leave a like on this video, comment if you have any questions, suggestions, or opinions, and of course, if you are already subscribed, click the bell icon as it does help the channel out a lot. Okay, so here we have the Surface Laptop Go box. Once again, I got it in the 10th gen 128 gig, 8 gig RAM i5 variant, so the mid-tier model, and we'll take off the plastic like so. I'm praying to God that everything is in focus, but you know. All right, let's lift the box open here. And I got it in this, I think it's called ice blue, maybe I'm wrong, but I love this color. I will lift it out here. And before we get to the actual laptop, of course, you get your literature pertaining to the product, as Detroit Borg says, we miss you, bro. And then the charger, which I'm not gonna open here. And then, yeah, so of course, always a nicely made box by Microsoft. Love their boxes. Okay, let me put this off to the side. And let's check the color actually. Is it called ice blue? Yes, it is called ice blue, so I actually know what I'm talking about. That's great. Okay, now let's get to the actual laptop itself, and I'm already messing up the wax paper removal thing. That's always satisfying. Well, that wasn't super satisfying, but still. All right, oh, hold on. Gotta open this up and then get the, yeah, here we go. All right, so now it's already turning on, and yeah, I already really enjoy this color here, and I want to make sure that it's in focus. Oh, actually now it's in focus. Oh man. Okay, so that's better. So if you didn't see before, this is more in focus now. Here's what this laptop looks like. We have, here, I'll focus this up here actually because I can do manual focus. We have a USB type A port right here, a USB type C port, and a 3.5mm headphone jack. And then the Surface charging port on the side here, which is nice. And yeah, I love the color here. Here, I'll just, you know, once again, adjust the focus. Yeah, this is really nice looking. It's very, of course, reminiscent of the Surface Laptop 3 and all the Surface devices, very premium, but we will place this down here and take a closer look at it in its entirety. The screen here, as you can see, is more compact as well. The bezels are smaller, which is nice. So this looks cleaner overall. Also, apparently there is a fingerprint sensor in the power button right here. I'm looking at a display in front of me, so I'm like sort of not coordinated, but yeah, it's like right here, and you can totally tell there's like a glass here. I'll show you. There's a little glass like look to it. As you can maybe see here, this is made out of glass. It's gonna shine if I put it up against light. See, there you go. So that makes sense as it is a fingerprint reader. And I like that actually. I like that better than Windows Hello. Fingerprint readers are always a little bit more, I don't know, like reliable, easier to use in my experience. So we will set things up here. And of course, I probably don't know my Wi-Fi password. Okay, now it's asking me to set up my fingerprints, so we will do that. So I'll click set up. It says touch the power button. And this is very much like any other Touch ID, touch biometric fingerprint sensor setup you've ever done. You just lift your finger up. It says now for another angle, you know, make it wider. Oh, and it lights up too. That's pretty cool. That's pretty slick, I'm not gonna lie. And we're done. No, I do not want activity history. No. We're getting everything ready for you. I'm already like Joe from Family Guy. This might take several minutes. Bonnie, please don't turn off your PC, Peter. Leave everything to us. Almost there. There we go. So now we are on the desktop, and immediately what I'm going to do is turn up the brightness, but also I'm gonna look up the screen resolution of this display because it is lower than I had anticipated. Besides the processor and the RAM and the amount of storage, I did not look at the specs, so I'm very interested to see here. So display, what is the resolution? So the resolution is 1536 by 1024. So this is a sub 1080p panel, And let's actually put that into like a PPI calculator here. So, okay, so we're not gonna do a PPI calculation because they have the specs on the Microsoft website, duh. So this display has a resolution of 1536 by 1024, it's 12.4 inches, and it has a PPI of 148. And just actually, I'm curious what the regular PPI is for like a 24-inch like 1080p display or something like that here. So, I mean, like this PPI isn't awful. I mean, it definitely looks lower resolution than like that of the Surface Laptop 3, which I'll probably compare this laptop to at some point, and also like a MacBook Pro or a MacBook Air. But it is actually cheaper. You know, it starts out at $549. Of course, I recommend getting the 128 gig model with 8 gigs of RAM. But yeah, the display on here isn't bad. It's bright enough, and of course, it is touchscreen, which is nice here, and it's glass, and it has a nice sort of like curved edge to it. So definitely not a bad display by any means. Also, a lower resolution display means that you get better battery life, so that is something to keep in mind here. Yeah, I mean, like so far, this is a really impressive little package. I have to do some benchmarks and stuff. I have to see just how well it stacks up to that of the Surface Laptop 3. I'll actually bring it over here. I'm not gonna do like a comparison, but I have some products on hand just for reference. So here we have the Surface Go 2. It's definitely a lot smaller than the laptop here, and also less powerful. We have a Pentium in this one, and the other higher spec one has an M3 inside, a Core M3. So this is definitely for some users, but honestly, I think that the Surface Laptop Go has a little bit more appeal, especially since it has a laptop form factor with the keyboard. And then of course, I was talking about the Surface Laptop 3, which I have right here, and I'm gonna try to squeeze these both into the frame here. So yeah, this is definitely a smaller laptop. You can see the keys are a little bit more constrained. Actually, probably not that much because there's some like room here on the sides. So similar size keyboard, similar size trackpad, and of course a similar fit and finish. And I think both of these have either, I think this might have a 9th gen or a 10th gen i5. I think it's a 10th gen, but yeah. i5 equipped, 8 gigs of RAM. This has like 256 gigs. This has 128, of course. And yeah, apparently this is Microsoft's lightest laptop, and it definitely feels like that. It's very light, you know, very MacBook Air competing, and that's not even a proper phrase, but you know what I mean. Like, this is definitely a heavier laptop, although premium, I will say here. So yeah, this has been my unboxing and initial impressions. I am liking this laptop already. I might even put it to use with my schoolwork, because I do have to use a laptop every day, or at least when I'm like in my hybrid classes for a Zoom and such. So I might take this out of the house and take it for a test drive. And yeah, I think it's a slick little package. Not a bad price for what you're getting here. Of course, there are some laptops with better specs that are cheaper than this, but for the fit and finish that you get and just for the Surface experience, I mean, $664, which is what I got this for with student pricing, is not bad in my opinion. But of course, I will update you more on this product down the line. And that about wraps things up here. I hope this video was helpful, and yes, technically I haven't unboxed this yet because I'm shooting my outro right after my intro, so this is a weird time warp thing happening here. Anyway, I'd appreciate it if you leave a like, comment, and of course subscribe for more content like this. I got some great iPad content coming up, and I can't wait to get my hands on the new iPhone models, particularly the iPhone 12 mini. I really like small form factor phones, so we'll see how that goes. And yeah, other than that, I'm Noah, and I will catch you all in the next one.